Esso responds back to Ish saying he ambushed him.
And I don't want to bring up Ish, and I'm going to say this because he's not even speaking to me right now. Although he says stuff that I didn't like as well. I'm getting calls from people as well about his standpoint and about my standpoint. All right? Never have we invited anybody on, which I saw on Twitter X or somebody sent me, to ambush anyone and make them look bad. That has never happened, so why would it ever start with somebody who I really considered my friend?
On Backfuel, Esso let it be known that he doesn't appreciate how Ish made it seem like he ambushed him. Now you might be wondering, why is this happening? Well, Ish made a recent appearance on Backfuel, and in that appearance, Ish got into a bunch of heated arguments, and I guess he doesn't like the way that he is being presented by the Backfield platform with the salacious titles, especially the one saying that Drake is using Young Thug, and he even talked about it on a behind-the-scenes clip of the Joe Budden podcast.
The clip says that I said he's manipulating Young Thug. That clip, I said, if a nigga get out of jail after spending countless millions of dollars on defense, and I come drop you $1 million off, I'm doing you a solid.
Essentially, Ish was saying that he made it seem as if he was targeting Drake, when in reality he was bigging up Drake for giving Young Thug $1 million. But there was also another argument where Esso got angry about, fathers and talking about how you had a father and all of this stuff. But overall, what is the biggest takeaway from this is that Esso and Ish are no longer on good terms, and Ish has cut Esso off, which is pretty tough considering that I thought Ish showed a lot of value on Backfuel. If I was Joe, I would have been watching that podcast and be like, oh, dang, man, Ish is really capable of podcasting with other people. And I think Ish isn't understanding the content game, as you do need to have titles in order to get people to watch something. And they were talking about Drake, and maybe the miscalculation is saying that he was manipulating Drake. Maybe they could have done something like, what is Drake's plan with Young Thug? And then they could have talked about it like that. They made it seem like Ish said something directly about Drake. But once again, I think Ish needs to understand content creation in general. But let me know what you think. Do you feel like this will lead to more tension? I really feel as if Ish should see what Backfuel did for him as opposed to seeing it as some sort of evil thing, because he showed his value. Ish is going on to other podcasts, getting like hundreds of thousands of views, and is doing a lot for his negotiation power. He shouldn't be concerned about the title. He should be like, damn, I'm so lit. They can garner views by just putting Ish in a title. A lot of people could do that with someone else and they get like 4,000 views. So Ish, come on, man. Piece it up with Esso. Esso might be a podcast you need to be on in the future. If anything falls out with you and Joe, you could go on that podcast and talk about my issue with Joe is blah, blah, blah. Piece it up, man. There's no need to beef. Life is too short. And if you do beef, handle it on the Joe Budden podcast so I can talk about it on this channel. But, I mean, do you guys like Backfuel? Do you listen to Backfuel? I do think they were on a run a little bit. But the bad part about the run is often it is tied to the guests. So they had a stretch of just getting mad guests. I mean, they were getting Joe Budden, they were getting Ish, they were getting Angela Yee, Gillian Wallow, and all of that stuff. And now they are back to the grill again, grinding, which is cool. They've always grinded, and it's dope that they are still putting in the work, because like Rory and Mal, when you leave a platform that is so big, like the Matt Hoffa podcast, the assumption is that you won't last long. But they have lasted long. They have stood consistent with the content. Space is back there, giving compelling content with his very thoughtful questions and great ability to host. I mean, the guy's a star. If you ever see him on the show, he's really enlightening with his takes. I mean, I hope they give him at least 80% of the ownership. But I'm just interested to see what you think. Have you been giving Backfuel a chance? They've been doing a lot better as far as numbers, so it seems like they're on the rise. I do think they were going to be on some type of network, but that fell through. And often when people are trying to get on a network, what they find is that the network isn't as profitable as being independent. So I wonder if that was the case. Anyway, we'll see where they go. They've always felt like $1 million worth of game, but with actual tangible advice. Whereas $1 million worth of game is very motivational, Gary V type stuff. They don't really give you the soup to nuts of what to do. Whereas you might actually get tangible advice from Bag Fuel. But that's my video for now. In summary, Ish has cut off Esso, and it's because Ish feels like Esso was being clickbaity. With that said, follow me on Instagram to Stop TV, follow me on Twitter to Stop TV, and subscribe to my Patreon. This is Danny from The Stop. Peace.